second down. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And avoids the contact by sliding. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Cook able to escape, and he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
On first and 10, Cousins throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And that is incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said forget about the sticks. We want 6. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
Hey. 4 down.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Space to maneuver at the 40. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
Let's go.
4 down.
What's your son?
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Andrew Sendejo from his strong safety spot able to make the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
Ron.
Everyone
What's your son? What's your son?
Working from the gun, Wentz. First has it left side. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Hey, we got
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Sunday, Sunday. Where's son?
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down.
4 down. Check.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. This is Ertz with it, right side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. First down. Here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. And he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Lucky 50.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off his fullback out of the backfield. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Rhino!
Handoff comes to Cook. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Wide! The hot
Second down, Cousins. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work out a little bit more.
Now Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run. Murray. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal.
Here we go.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Gun.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, come get a little bit closer this time. Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Oh.
Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. Still going. And he's brought down after a good game. That goes for a gain of 31. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Wentz now on first down, eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Slam, slam, slam.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the second round, and he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end.
Wentz now on first down. Dancing to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
Miller on the catch over the middle. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Let's go.
Hey, tight end right. Watch tight end. 3 down, 3 down.
Move. Liz, 50, here we go.
Cousins on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Gun.
Cousins. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
All right, now here we go, oh. Liz, 50, here we go.
Again, this is Cook. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Wait, hot.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A first down throw for Cousins. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just went a ride there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Lucky 50.
Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, now here we go, oh. 300. Wide. Go ahead.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Fletcher Cox getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far.
Wide.
This is 3rd and 7.
Lino!
Now Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Wentz
now.
now
Let's go.
10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Let's go.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now.
Good chip.
On play action, Wentz. Going long here for Wallace. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mike Wallace, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are back within a score. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for 19 at a 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them.
Let's
Show
go.
that he's got the fresh legs,
Let's
and he
go.
picked
Here we
up
go.
the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him.
Black.
Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st and 10, Cousins flush to his right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Completion left side to Miller. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go. Lucky 50.
SOS. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
300. Two.
To throw is Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27.
4 down.
He'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, And now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he'd played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize those same sort of skills.
Wins to throw on second down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go. What's on? Waiting. What's on?
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Well, the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Working from the gun, Wentz. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Let's 50.
Cousins to throw it. Open man here is Conklin. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
You got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10.
Ram.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Daniil Hunter in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Wentz going to throw. Screen pass to Sproles. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Wentz on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Two. Zebra.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Let's 50.
A handoff. It's Murray. And some space here. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big run that time by Murray. 48 yards. Well, they know they've got a good starter. Now the guy coming in to spell him shows he can run it pretty good as well.
And I think he appreciates the starter, wearing people down, tiring them out a little bit. He took full advantage, didn't he? Came in with fresh legs and carried the ball.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. And some room to maneuver. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Lucky 50.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing his Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Wilson able to put this one through. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Open man left side is Wallace complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. It's more coming. It's more going to come.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. No gain there on the completion. Second and 10. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Defense excited about that.
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Come on now.
The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Stack.
You got 4.
He'll look to throw. Aguilar has it. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Let's go. Great.
He's back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. It was Andrew Sendejo from his strong safety spot able to make the play. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Check 26.
There we go. Back that. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13.
Great.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the ball.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
3 down.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down.
Great. Liz. Here we go. Waiting.
Now Wentz gotta have this one. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Vikings, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
that check-in to go. I'm gone. A lot of these was lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No cost. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. Filling out kites to put in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Act like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check-in to go. A lot of these was lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with a get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. These they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Party came for 2 weeks and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Angry and friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lie on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my ring. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you. Rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap, got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's time.
I got that check-in to go. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I died. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. Derek ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it for FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check-in to go. A lot of these was lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See slime break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a break light, and you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your in the. Hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday. Put the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
I reinvented myself. They sort of hated it. I reinvented myself.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Carolina Panthers. Dustin Hopkins has it on the tee, and here we go from our nation's capital. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play. Now a play fake here on first down. And Olsen over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Here we go, fellas.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Hey.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And they got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
Great.
Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Come on now. Express.
Two times. Four down.
Great.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Gun.
Four down.
20. Great.
Newton on 3rd down. Complete to Wright. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Great. Gun. Set. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Cam's going to run the option right, and holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He can run for it, and he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 7-0. Gano out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Let's go, 15. 35. Mike 52, Mike 52. Big stop, G. Big stop.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And he finds the tight end, Reed. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you work on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Adrian Peterson, of course, had the big week 1 when he had 166 total yards. Week 2, though, against the Colts, came back down to earth a little bit, didn't he?
And he certainly did. 11 carries for 20 yards. Remember, out of 166 total yards the week before, I believe he had 75 of them through the air, which is unusual for him in and of itself. But in this game, totally bottled up by the Colts defense. And it's a little bit of a pattern for Adrian Peterson. Last year, when he went to the Arizona Cardinals, some big games and also some lackluster ones. He's trying to string together some top-notch performances in D.C.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
59 Mike, 59 Mike. Let's go. Let's go, 15, 15.
Out of the gun, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Carolina's offense, they worked their way back out there. And I wanted to discuss Christian McCaffrey with you. One thing that kind of went under the radar in their Week 2 loss, he had 14 receptions. They mentioned they want to use him in a variety of ways. Are they using him effectively?
They are in the passing game. You noted it, 14 catches for him, but 102 yards. So in space, absolutely dynamite. I think they need more from him in the running game, though. Only 37 yards on the ground. Cam Newton was still their leading rusher with 42. They need McCaffrey to be that lead guy and Cam to be more of an accessory in the running game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. The shotgun snap for Newton. He's got it. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now a first down throw for Newton. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and this one will be brought back to the 22.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Lock in.
After the interception, here's Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And now look at him go. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Gano the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to the best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, baby, move. Let's go. Let's go, 15. You guys go 52.
On first down, Smith. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking to get that one to Chris Thompson, and that'll bring up second down. A CD switching gears for a second. You know, after last year, 7 NFL head coaches were relieved of their duties. And in week 1 of this season, those 7 coaches went 0-7. They fared a little better, though, in week 2.
They certainly did. Finally got into the win column. 3 of those happened. 1 in Chicago, 1 in Tennessee, and 1 in Indianapolis. Finally getting off the schneid. The other guys trying to get it done in week 3.
Yeah, including John Gruden. Curious to see when he gets his first victory out west. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Set, line, 80. No, off.
To the air again, Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have, as they get him behind the